And here we are in the finals. It is SoPugly versus Robertcop. Robertcop's going second. And we'll be watching this first game from Robertcop's point of view. We'll be watching the next one from SoPugly's point of view. So, let's see. This is a decent hand by Robertcop. He's got the perfect guard, the grade 1 and the grade 1, grade 2 and the grade 3. It's not the best grade 3 that he wants. I imagine he'll probably put back the 6k grade 1, this one. Or maybe the 7k grade 1. But you'll keep the rest. Yeah, there we go. Exactly as I said. That was the correct move to go for. Okay, that's the 8k Vanguard. The 8k grade 1 Vanguard is probably the most defensive move you can do. Stops the opponent from having the ability to actually rush you. If you call a 7k Vanguard, you risk the chance of the opponent calling the 7k Vanguard and then calling the 7k rear guard. Attack with rear guard first and then attack for 12k Vanguard. Robertcop's got a lot of grade 1s in his hand now. You don't want too many grade 1s, you want a nice mix of them. At least he does have the grade 3, at least he's not going to miss that ride. And here we see the beginning of the slow control base that Robertcop has used through this entire tournament. He's not going to go for lots of damage, he's not trying to kill his opponent in turn 1 or turn 2. He's wanting to slow the game down to his own pace. He's trying to stop the damage. He's going to try and clear the opponent's board. Although with this hand, not particularly easy. That 10k rear guard is going to be a bit of a problem. He's going to have to call one of those 7k grade 1s behind the grade 2 in order to take care of that. And keep giving him the second damage. Now if Robertcop can top deck a Berserk Dragon, that will help tremendously in this situation. Well, there's a Dragonic Overlord, and it's the alternate art Dragonic Overlord, the one for having opened 200 packs. So it goes to show the level of dedication of Robertcop to this game. I think he's maybe just called that there because it's the one that he cares least about, rather than using the Tejas to get rid of the Bartgal. Okay, he's just going to rely on the trigger. He's just happy to accept if he doesn't get the trigger, then the attack doesn't go through. Oh, he is attacking the Bartgal. Wow, that was surprising. But again, this is what Robertcop is trying to do. He's trying to control the game, trying to take all the opponent's cards away from him. So SoPugly now only has 4 remaining cards, 3 in hand, 1 additional one in the field. Including the Vanguard, that's 5. To Robertcop's 8 cards, 5 in hand and 3 on field. This is exactly the slow, methodical pace that Robertcop does enjoy. And that is SoPugly putting the critical triggers of the Ganslots back into his deck, hoping to get them and try and deal some early damage. That heal doesn't go off. Again, probably due to Robertcop's design. And he had the 18k rear guard, so even if Robertcop had hit a trigger, that attack was still going to go through. That's the disadvantage of calling the 8k Vanguard. So at this point, I'm curious, is he going to ride the Dragonic Overlord, or is he going to call the Overlord to the guard? Because he's decided he would rather have the 11k base and lose the twin drive than to have the twin drive and the 11k rear guard and 10k base. That surprises me. It makes those into 10Ks. Maybe he just wants the threat of the Draconic Overlord to be there. Although Robertcop is missing those grade 2s, so he doesn't have those intercepts to protect him. Maybe he's thinking now's the time he needs to go for a bit more damage. Although he does have 3 perfect guards in hand, but that's only going in to get 3 attacks. He's still going to have to rely on a heal trigger after that. Well, obviously he's only on 4 damage, so he can take 1 more before he has to start using his perfect guards. And those perfect guards will negate SoPugly's 8 criticals that he uses. But he still has 7 of those criticals in his deck. This is the problem with critical triggers. It's really, really good early game before people have perfect guards. But once people get perfect guards, if you hit a critical when the opponent's on 3 or more damage, the critical will just be negated. Again, that's very unfortunate, because if Robertcop hadn't have had all those perfect guards in hand, that would have been very, very deadly. He'd have needed at least 1 heal off of those 3 damage. Or 2 heals even, so. That was a strong point to get that heal trigger. So I don't know what that last card in hand is that SoPugly has, but he's only on 2 damage, so he doesn't need to be scared yet. He knows that Robertcop can only do 3 damage. He can only get off 3 attacks, and he only plays draw triggers, doesn't play any critical triggers, so he knows that he's fine for this turn. I think Robertcop will be aware of that. He'll be thinking, okay, what is it I want to do here? He wants to call the grade 2 because it's defensive. Short of SoPugly top decking a Blaster Blade, which we have seen SoPugly do before. We've seen him keep the Blaster Blade, and we've seen him keep the High Dog Breeder Akane in his hand until he's got the Garden Blast to use them. That is another heal trigger that he's went with. He's got, taking him back down to 3 damage. They both use 2 heals each. And there goes one of SoPugly's only 3 perfect guards he uses. He doesn't have a 4th one, I don't believe. I don't imagine any reason you wouldn't play 4. I don't think he's playing 3 by choice. I think that he's playing 4 simply because he doesn't own the 4th. Sorry, he's playing 3 because he doesn't own the 4th. He's making up the difference a little bit, and Robertcop does have a Draconic Overlord in hand, which is going to be a threat on the next turn. That helps a little bit. However, the next turn he's definitely going to call that Draconic Overlord to rearguard, and it's going to clear the opponent's rearguards and also get an attack on the opponent's vanguard. Again, unfortunately, that critical will be perfect guarded because it would put the opponent to 5 damage. So now SoPugly has to think, am I going for damage, or well, you can still hit because that is 24. Okay, now Robertcop is in a very strong position because that Draconic Overlord is going to clear the rear guards and they're going to get 3 attacks on the opponent's vanguard. So can he hit more than 20? He can. This Draconic Overlord boosted by 7k. The 16k Draconic Overlord. Yeah, I think SoPugly is going to need to rely on a heal trigger at some point here, even if he does hit a trigger in his first one. So the Dronic Overlord is absolutely going to clear the rearguards first. I think the next thing he's going to do is he's going to attack 15 into the opponent's vanguard. And then he's going to go 11 into the vanguard. We'll see what he does. Because this Dronic Overlord column is 23k column here. He went for the vanguard first. Okay. We'll give that to the rearguard, the Tejas. It's very strong. So now he really relies on 2 triggers. And 2 heals even. Which he doesn't get. And that is game 1 of the finals. So Robertcop is now 1 up against SoPugly. We'll return in just a second and we'll be watching it from SoPugly's point of view.